Welcome to the Travel Think Tank. This is where the industry gathers under one roof. Agents and suppliers together. That's what we do here at The Hub. My name's Pat Miller. I'm your host of the show and one of the co-founders of The Hub. And on today's program, we are continuing our path to prosperity. I think this is like episode 4 or 9 or 15. I'm not sure, but we're continuing this conversation because we are trying to create the room for collaboration for everyone to get together and work together so we can survive this interesting time and then be ready when things are ready to travel again. On today's show, it's an all hands on deck power hour. We've got some really smart folks on the call today. So we're going to spin around and share the thoughts on our path to prosperity. And we're also going to continue our conversation that we had last week on the morning show when Randy Otts came on and shared some great big ideas on how maybe the Hub could lead the way for agent to agent collaboration. We'll get to that and some other thoughts about the path to prosperity in a moment. But let me kick it over to my co-founder and travel expert, Tom Brousseau. Tom, good afternoon. How are things on your end?
Hey, everybody. Things are good, Pat. All the Hubsters who are joining us today, thank you very much. Yeah, things are going very well. We have a lot of exciting developments coming. I actually had a really good day of travel agenting today, so that always perks me up. Sounds like a few of the rest of you did too. So people starting, we're going to talk about it later, but people starting to come back and use those future travel credits that they're sitting on. And so it's all about filling the pipeline and getting some commissions out there into the system that we hope and pray are going to actually get paid, and people are going to get to travel. Now, my bookings were to St. Lucia, which, as we know, is one of the best performing Caribbean islands out there. So that's a good thing. But thanks everyone for being here today. We have a great list of agenda items and topics to cover today. And yes, the path to prosperity continues. And every week we keep getting more and more great ideas and really a very great plan and a very great strategy that is coming together that I think we all can take advantage of. And we want to expound upon that a little bit today, get some additional thoughts and ideas, and then see where that takes us. So let's make it happen.
Now, I want to follow up on why some of these credits are starting to be redeemed. Can you share any maybe common threads as to why people are waking up and cashing in these credits? Is there anything you can pull from the folks that have reached out to you?
It's cold.
Yeah, starting to get cold. Is that what it is, Susan? Yeah. How about you, Tom?
Yeah, I think she's right. I think that there's some natural time, usually once the kids go back to school, it usually is kind of as a signal that it's time to start thinking about winter travel. A lot of people looking at booking spring break. And then they also have the school schedule to work with. And so I think that's a big indicator. But more than anything, people start to feel a sense of urgency that they have to have their winter trip booked. Here in the Midwest, it is not fun. As we all lived through last year, it is not fun to be home and when it's snowing and cloudy and overcast, when you could be on the beach enjoying things. So I think people are motivated by that. And so that gives me a lot of inspiration because I feel like the combination of the natural demand plus the pent-up demand, plus the fact that people are sitting on resort credits that have big bonus credits in there, are all good factors that are going to help us.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're starting to see that.
Lisa, are you seeing that on your end? Are people waking up a little bit? Are you getting any outreach activity?
Yeah, I just actually booked a small group, 10 nights to Jamaica. So that made my week. I was a tad disappointed when I sent out the charter information to my database last week. Our charters came out from Milwaukee last week. And I had expected a few people to reach out and, other than, just thanks there really wasn't any chatter about it, which was a little disappointing. What about you, Tom? Being in the Milwaukee market, what did you find?
Yeah, I sent it out right away and I didn't have much feedback either. They're starting a little bit later in January, where normally they start right around the Christmas time frame. But I think it will come. I think the Milwaukee and Wisconsin area will gravitate towards those flights. But maybe the curve is a little bit later this year than what we're used to.
I really think that a lot of folks are waiting until the election too. That happens normally
Yes.
when we
Yeah.
have an election, but I think this year more than ever, we're really going to see that.
So what do you
Everybody's-
anticipate? Let's take that forward. So you're waiting till the election. If it
Mhm.
goes one way or the other, the markets will open up, or you think as soon as it's done, people will open up? What have you seen?
Yeah, typically in the past, it's when it's done,
Mhm.
then everybody makes the decision to travel. And I don't know if it's one way or the other, red or blue. But again, this year is different than any
Yeah.
other, so it's going to be, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Before we get off the subject, Molly, are you seeing any early activity or people waking up to redeem their resort credits or travel credits?
Yes. In fact, I got a destination wedding call today. I got a Las Vegas wedding call today. I got 4 calls this morning. I was just
Yes.
like so
Great.
excited. The other thing is definitely the election. Where I'm at, the guys who work in the oil field are all holding back because whether it goes one way or the other, Democratic or Republican, after that election, what happens normally is every 4 years they kind of slack off until the election's over. If it goes red, our oilers or our guys who work in the oil field just open up because now they're all getting go back to work and all that kind of stuff. It happens on the Democratic side too, just not as prevalent. And this year I'm a little worried just because of the drive by the Democrats for the, energy sector, going away from our oil to
Sure.
other forms of energy. So, but as soon as that happens, I'm really expecting my people who have been holding off, who've been laid off from their jobs. I think after the election, this is going to open up. Either way it goes, I think things are going to open up and people are going to be like, okay, that's done. Let's move on.
Right.
And I truly feel like that is going to be a big thing.
That's a great piece of
Mhm.
perspective. So we bring up one issue that the election is gumming up the works, and we get your perspective, we get Lisa's perspective, Tom's perspective. So it's interesting to hear that from different market-specific conditions, because what you're talking about is unique to you in Milwaukee. The oil business doesn't mean anything for you. It certainly does. So these are the types of signposts. So what do we have out there? We've got uncertainty around the Supreme Court. We've got uncertainty about the virus. We've got the election that's sitting right in front of us. And all of these things are going to be over by the end of November, middle of November. I mean, the virus notwithstanding, but some of these uncertainty issues are going to be put to bed. And that's why I continue to be bullish, because here's the thing we all know our clients are dying to travel. They're dying to travel.
Yeah.
And almost everybody didn't spend any travel dollars this year. So we know that they're fired up and ready to go. We just have to be ready to welcome them back to the party when it's time. Yes, Molly, go ahead.
I got one more thing. If they pass the little travel nugget that is supposed to be in this next little bill coming through, where you will get a like $4,000 tax credit if you travel this year, if they will just approve that, I think that will be huge for people too. I think people will be like, either I pay $4,000 in taxes or I get to go on vacation. I'm going on vacation. So
Right.
I'm kind of praying for that one too.
And that's for US, that will be for US travel only.
Yes.
Wow. So I guess I live under a rock. I had not heard about that. Is that in the package that they're voting on, or is that something they're trying to add? Danielle, it seems like you're up to speed on this.
Yeah, so it's been, it has been in and out of the package. So the bill is written, like Molly said, it is right now it's a $4,000 tax credit. There's something that's also trying to be kind of a separate recovery plan specific to the U.S. travel industry that the airlines and the big hotel chains are pushing, and that's part of that too. So it's kind of floating around in a few different places, trying to get pushed through or attached to something that will be approved. But yes, that is correct. So that would be great.
Yeah.
Stimulate
Imagine that.
the U.S. economy, U.S. travel, put some people on airplanes, get the, the airlines, gosh, and probably in the next week and a half, we quite possibly could hear some pretty bad things coming out of the airlines as far as significant layoffs. They're talking up to 35,000 people being laid off collectively from all the airlines.
Wow.
Is that
I hate to
recovery
hear that.
package, the timing on that, is that in the next few weeks, or is that something that we're looking at for November?
It was drafted in July.
Right.
Yeah.
I had
It's
heard
the
about it.
package that they've been, Democrats and Republicans have been going back and forth on.
Right.
McElhaney just said earlier today that they are willing to pull the package apart and approve pieces of it. And I know that that a lot of the Florida senators were talking about, please, can you pull out the CDC approval for the cruise lines so that we can go ahead and get that passed and get that going and get the cruises going? Because Florida, I mean, they have 5 different cruise ports that aren't getting used right now. So this package is holding up more than just an incentive. It's holding up travel on many levels. And so if they can come to an agreement within the next 2 weeks, they've been trying it for 2 months, but if they can do it in the next 2 weeks, those things will, I think, just open up. If not, then hopefully they'll pull each piece out and they'll deal with the airline situation, they'll deal with the cruise line situation, and they'll at least pull those pieces out that have just got to get taken care of in the next month, or we're in trouble. We're already in trouble, but we're in trouble.
So let's follow up on that. A few other things. Tom, you're talking about the CDC and the cruise industry. Can you talk about that for a minute?
Sure. I mean, because we were just sort of identifying all the different variables that we're all dealing with, whether it's the election, Supreme Court, virus, and, another huge boulder in that is the CDC's decision on allowing cruises to resume. And, we have all these cruise products that are just dormant right now because they're not allowed to sail. So I'm hoping that, we see some breakthrough on that as well, because there's a lot of cruises on the books for next year. As Susan mentioned, there's beginning in November, really, there's bookings. So that CDC decision on allowing the cruises to start sailing will be a huge factor that will also drive demand. And again, lots of pent up demand, lots of travel credits out there associated with our cruise clientele. So we got to watch for that.
With the credits that are accrued and the potential that this tax credit could be dropped with a deadline, that kind of leads to one of the things I wanted to cover today, which was Randy's big idea that we morphed on the morning show last week of the hub working with suppliers to make these once in a lifetime trips that all of our agent partners could sell into. Did I capture that correctly, Tom? Is that a fair recap of what Randy was talking about?
Yeah. The concept is, I'm sorry, I was taking a quick note. The concept is that, and Randy and I have talked about this on a couple occasions, that the hub is the perfect place for us to build and execute and market collaborative groups. And by that we mean, there's all these different niche group market segments out there. Everybody has them. Each of the people on the call today and lots of agents do lots of unique and cool things. And the scalability factor of that on the hub, the ease of doing that on the hub is really significant. So what we want to start to develop and follow up with Randy. Randy's in Mexico this week, but when he gets back, is can he help us lead the charge? Also, Tom Carnes was very interested in that idea. And essentially what it means is that, for agents like Randy and Tom and lots of the rest of you guys, you do a lot of work and you have a lot of specialization with certain niche group clientele. You know, whether in Randy's case it's music, or he has this realtor program, or it could be culinary or fitness and wellness. I mean, name it. Well, if they've done all the work and they know the logistics and the secret sauce of making those happen, why not scale it on the hub and allow 5, 6, 10, 15 agents to all participate in those collaborative groups? And in doing that, we can create bigger and better events. We can also find different ways for us all to make money by capitalizing on the opportunities that are out there to make a sale that might have never occurred. You know, if that collaborative group on the hub with Randy or Tom Carnes or any of you guys didn't exist, and you didn't push it to your clients that you knew might be a great market for it, wouldn't have made that commission. And then another big factor is that it really shows the revenue generating capabilities of the hub, right? If we do really work together and collaborate like that, which is a huge part of our mission and why we're here, you know, we can really show a lot of value. You know, we can show a lot of supplier value because we're teaming up and we're working together.
So I love the idea. Let's see if it holds water. Let's kick it around. Jennifer Waldron, you're with us. What do you think of that sort of idea? And would you be excited to participate or continue to push the idea forward?
Oh yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, Tom and I have actually utilized this idea in years previous. I don't think that we've had quite the following like we do now with travel agents, but this is inspiring to see so many travel agents in one group. So I think if I'm saying this right, we're not enemies. If we work together, I think it's better for all of us if we all work together. So I think it's a great idea to collaborate groups and help each other. I mean, especially during all these times where we're all struggling, reach out a hand, help each other. So yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Thank you for that. Lisa, what do you think of this?
I do think it's a great idea. I'm thinking ahead here. Cruise groups, we have, you know, travel leaders, we probably have some other consortias in our group. Maybe there's a cruise line that's offering something really special to American Express agencies and we can funnel through that, or travel leaders, or a group like Randy's that is specialized. You know, the more people you get into a group, obviously the bigger the discounts, the better the pricing. I think it's a win-win situation, and being able to offer something that is completely different that someone else has marketed and thought about and really done all the work on.
And it seems to me, to make it great, we can't just do something off the rack. We have to go the extra mile to make something that's so unique, so different, so amazing, that way you could book a cruise, that's fine. But on this cruise, this special thing will happen and we'll stop at these places. And we work with the supplier to pull out all the stops for our group. Like, how can we take it and take it to the next level? That seems to be the differentiator between, oh, here are 10 cruises I could book, but here's Randy's cruise and it's this. Something that might be necessary now because we have to get the attention of the shoppers that we have on our email list. What's going to entice them to see this as a super unique opportunity rather than just a cruise of the Caribbean? So, Tom, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, would we be able to put that in like kind of a folder on the hub where we can go to it and see the different groups that are contracted or not contracted, so that we can kind of like add to them?
Yeah, you know, I think that will be necessary. We'll have to have that. We'll have to have a marketplace, if you will, or a place where you can browse what's open and what's out there, if that's the direction that we go. Is this a separate group, Danielle, like a travel community, or what are you seeing for something like that?
So yeah, Tom and I talked about it yesterday, and I've been thinking about it since Randy mentioned it last week. I think it's a wonderful idea, and I want to connect with him a little bit more to flesh out his vision when he gets back from Mexico. But yes, I see it as a group, and as the agents, as we work together to create, and maybe we have you know, for different groups or different ideas, people can bring them to the group and maybe kind of be the stakeholder or the leader of it, or maybe someone has a great connection with specific cruise line or hotel or resort or something that can start the mechanism of pulling and organizing it together. And then we can help facilitate keeping all of that information and up to date in its own space in a group in the hub. So I think it's all of, everyone's collaboration, ideas. If somebody has, Randy mentioned he has a few in mind in the next 6 months or so. So maybe there's something maybe the next think tank, we just talk about that, and that be, a point of discussion to have some ideas on what some of those groups would look like. What is the timing? What does everyone agree is the best hotel suppliers that will get on board with all of you? I'm sure you're all thinking of the same top 3 or 5, and let's go, let's target them. And I think they would be more than happy with this group of agents to come to them collectively and say, hey, here's our idea. They would be, their arms would be open.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think we bring a lot of collective know-how and a lot of expertise and a lot of customers, right? I mean, between all the agencies on the hub, there's a very significant client base that's out there. And if we can market to them in an effective way and utilize a program like this, to create sales that, especially incremental sales that wouldn't have existed, I mean, that is such a huge win. And I think there's going to be many resorts, many situations where we can build this out. And I do think it's group functionality on the hub. And then one of the key things too is that, getting ideas from all of you about, the types of groups that are most effective. What do you have success with? There's 20, 30, 50 different kinds of niche groups. What are the most effective ones that we can put our time and energy behind that are common to all of us, where we can really be successful right away? Like, for example, no disrespect to the bird watchers, but, maybe that's not the niche we start with. Maybe fitness and wellness is a bigger niche, or maybe culinary or music, or some of those are the bigger niche markets that we could get a lot greater return on investment for our initial efforts on.
Maybe even, the supplier will give us a code that we can put in and do almost like a groups your way, but through the hub.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know Virgin, I know John Deere will probably do something, if we put together, a special cruise with Virgin, like maybe next June or something, and we all promote it with a different code, and we get maybe a onboard credit that no one else would get or something.
And Virgin would be a great jumping off point, because we could market it as, singles or young people who are looking to do something unique. It's just such a great venue.
Well, no one's done it, and no one's done it yet either.
Right.
So, once someone goes on that ship, it's going to sell. It's such a, a great way to cruise now, I mean, I'm excited. I can't wait to go.
Right. Yeah. And being first to market means a lot, being first to market, and also, having inventory and having added value deals and things like that. So I think that's great. And I think one of the key things that, I think Dan and Pat mentioned too, is that a key part of this is that we really very much want the hub agents to be the stakeholders, to be the leaders on this, because really logistically where we're at, wouldn't be feasible for us to, at this point in our situation, to manage a groups program, like all the individual elements of it, the supplier parts and contracts. But if each individual hub member had their own specialty or their own passion for something, and each person had something that was their own that we scaled and everybody supported, that would work very well.
And the magic is, since the community is leading it, we can talk to the suppliers because they're getting exponential reach as opposed to partnering with one group or one consortia. We have all of these different agents under one roof, so that way they can get out to a large group. We asked this question earlier, but I do want to double back on it, and I'll start with you, Molly. Are you proactively engaging the folks that have those credits that are sitting by, or you still letting that powder sit dry? What are you doing right now?
Actually, my powder is sitting dry right now. I have someone coming in next week that is going to go through this file that I have and start pulling it out, calling the clients saying, hey, just wanted to remind you, you've got travel credit, things are opening up, you can start booking and things like that. So I think that is going to happen next week here at the office.
Yeah. Can I show you something in the Hub Does Jamaica? Go make a sale. I hear your phone ringing. Go make a sale. That's great. Jennifer, are you doing anything with the folks that are sitting on the sideline right now?
I think I'm right there along with Molly. I've been out for a couple of weeks, honestly. So I have been actually this week, yesterday and today, I have made quite a few bookings. I don't know if it's just that people knew I was sick and they've got the sympathy card. I've got the sympathy card playing. I don't know. But the travel credits, I'm just letting that lie for right now. I think the people that have taken the pause on travel, a lot of them that waited to travel, a lot of them have expressed that they didn't want to travel in 2020. So I'm not going to hound them probably until after the first of the year. And basically for the fact that we just don't know what the end of the year holds, what the first of the year holds. So I'm kind of letting that lie. A lot of the travel that I have booked yesterday and today has been like last minute travel, people that are wanting to travel like next week, next month, over Christmas. So that's been very positive for me. But other than that, in response to your question, I'm kind of letting it lie.
Well, look at that. We got a phone ringing and now you're booking things. This is good. This is momentum.
And my appendix is removed. So yay.
Yay. You're going to be healed real soon, which is fantastic. Tom, something you brought up on a call the other day, I want to ask you about. Are you seeing, and again, this might be Captain Obvious, but are you seeing agents just hang it up, some folks retiring, like just thinking, I can't wait this out, I got to move on? And can that, sadly, create opportunity for other agents? What's the market like right now in the agenting business?
Gotcha. My sense is that is happening. I don't have any like specific knowledge, and I think that at some point there'll be some research on this. Anything I have is just anecdotal, and also what I see on the various Facebook groups, that where people are just have had enough and they're throwing in the towel. And and generally, the travel agent industry does have a lot of retirement age people in it anyways. And so I think these last few months and the difficulty that everybody has faced, I think has probably led more than a few people. I don't know what the percentage is, and maybe you guys can chime in if you know more than me, but I would suspect that there's a number of things happening, and that is people just retiring that are saying, hey, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to retire completely, or I'm going to retire partially, or I had a brick and mortar office and now I'm going home based. And so I do think that, there is a lot of some consolidation and swirling around of the travel agent industry and the population. And I do think also that, there is some opportunities, as we go forward, and it's sort of the point of the hub in some ways that, people working together, or people joining forces, or finding more dynamic relationships. I think a lot of people are looking for that. And if they're not looking for that, they should be, because I think coming out of this, we're stronger together than people are, trying to fight their individual battle.
Danielle, I'm curious for your perspective on this. Are you seeing or feeling that there are fewer agents or agencies now than before? Is it just natural attrition?
I think the agents here on this think tank are probably a little bit closer to that, or to knowing and understanding that, than I am. I've been watching or keeping a pulse on what the big consortia are doing, the big consortia agencies, and they do look like they are scaling down. But again, like Tom said, again, it's just watching what they're doing and seeing how, you know, their messaging in the marketplace, some of the things they're saying. And I think really, as we go into the last quarter of this year, and whatever stimulus packages may or may not come, what's included, what's not included, you know, anyone who received the loans previously in the year to hold on to their staff, that ends also October 1st. So there could be throughout several sectors impacting different parts of the travel industry, which could include agents that are, you know, or which could include more travel industry workers that could be laid off or furloughed. So I think that the next probably 3 weeks are really gonna lay the foundation and some framework for what the next 90 days could look like.
Susan, what do you think of that? What are you seeing?
Well, actually, I'm having dinner tonight with quite a few agents here, local agents in Boston. So we're going to kind of have a, you know, just talk about what's going on. I know a lot of our Liberty travels have closed down. So there's a lot of agents that are just kind of floating around. I'm not sure if they're looking for, you know, to be ICs or going into other businesses, but I know they're, you know, there's a lot in my area on the North Shore of Boston.
Yeah, the impact of Liberty travel in your area has been quite significant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have a storefront and I also have my home office, and there's not a lot of storefronts left around here in Boston, you know, in the South Shore, on the Cape. I think a lot of agents have gone home based already. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm meeting with Phil from P&H Travel and Paula Killian tonight, Terry Strauss. So we're all kind of just going to have dinner. We haven't seen each other in so long, and just going to kind of talk about what's going on. And, you know, it's nice because we can network with each other and help each other out and kind of build each other's confidence, because it's tough. And, you know, I think in our area too, we have a February school vacation. We have an April school vacation, where I think the Midwest usually has like a March vacation. We're not sure if the schools are going to pull those vacations from the kids. So a lot of parents, you know, are still waiting. But the good thing is they can study in paradise if they want to.
Right?
Which is interesting that you bring that up, because maybe you guys have seen it as well, but I've been seeing a trend in hotels that are offering different types of work from hotel packages, kids study packages, even help with tutoring if it's needed. So the hotels in you know, that I've seen in like Riviera Maya or Cabo or Vallarta, some of those hotel chains are starting to come up with some really innovative packages to support working from the hotel and your kids and the kids learning from the hotel.
Well, as a dad that has 2 high school kids in the house, let me tell you, school from home, editorial opinion, is an absolute joke. I mean, the kids get their stuff done. It's no problem, but it is like we could easily be at a beach with a Wi-Fi connection and they could get everything they're asking them to do. It's not like they're, you know, solving quadratic equations and splitting the atom right now. It's like, hey, here's your packet, do the packet. And if there was passable Wi-Fi, the kids would be fine. At least the way that they're doing it in Wisconsin, which isn't the Harvard of the world, but that's how it is here.
I tell you what, the Playa Resorts package that is out there is phenomenal. It is wonderful. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. I put it on my website and got some hits on it. You have to stay for 14 days, but it is a great, great package.
And that's the work at the beach, work where you get the hotel room and the office adjoining that package?
Yep. Work and play in paradise is what it's called. And it is great. Can we go back for a second to agencies that have kind of either closed down or whatever? I was reading a report from ASTA. They did a survey and their report showed that a large percentage, basically, if the new package doesn't come out and they don't get some relief, October is kind of like the deadline. And I mean, it was like I want to say it was 75%, but it could be 30%. I'm thinking it was more like 75% are either going to close, quit, or drastically change the way they do things.
Wow. Wow.
So I'd have to go back and look at that ASTA report, but if I remember correctly, it was pretty dynamic. And so ASTA has been lobbying for that aid to get done ASAP for agencies and the airlines and things like that, because that October 1st time frame is coming up real quick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's take the conversation in a different direction. One of the other things that we talked about on the morning show, because the morning show last week and the think tank last week really came up with some good stuff for the path to prosperity. And one of the things that came out of, I think, think tank last week was how could the hub do a higher level of impact for members' social media efforts? How can we do a better job with social media? And I know some of you were on the think tank call last week, but what has been rolling around in your head? How can we as a group serve the agents in collaboration with the suppliers to help your social media get better? And Molly, you're on my screen, so I'll start with you. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I would love to hear those that were on last week if they checked out Branch Up and what they thought about that. And what I was thinking is if there was a way that we could make the hub, as a member, the hub, a tick mark on that Branch Up where hub members are going to be able to utilize that on our little group thing, where it will automatically promote the groups that we're putting together. Like if Ott had a concert group and we've ticked our Branch Up through the hub, that pulls it and automatically sends it out to the hub's members' social media. So I would love to hear what people had to say about Branch Up.
Lisa, you were going to check it out. Did you check it out?
I did. I'm all signed up. I love it. I absolutely love it. I have a note here to thank Molly. So thank you, Molly. It's great. It's great. So Molly, are you thinking that we would have our own hub Branch Up? Is that what you're envisioning?
Well, or like on Branch Up, you know how you got to choose the different tour operators, different things like that. I'm wondering if we could have a hub checkbox that would allow us to have the promotion of what we have in the hub, because we've paid to be members of the hub and we want to promote within ourselves. And so by having that checked, anything that we have that is social media acceptable would automatically be on there. So we'd be selling into those groups through our social media automatically.
So as an example, if Randy had a group and we have a checkbox, Randy's group, do you want to advertise this? And then Randy would bring the marketing to the hub, have it all set up. And then if we check that box, it will automatically appear on our feed.
Exactly.
So being a hyper-competitive person that's lived this world before, right after the call last week, Tom and I got our heads together and I started calling some of the people around here that I know because when I'm not hubbing, I'm a small business consultant. So I know a million marketing agencies and folks that do this for a living. That's why I'm so keenly in tune. We're like, hey, let's do stuff with the business. I love that stuff. Anyway, so I started talking with one of the guys who I think is just top notch. And I shared with him what Branch Up is doing. And he's like, oh yeah, we could do that. In fact, we could do that and have it just for the hub. And he said, we could do this and this and this and have it be a member benefit for anyone that's in the organization. So once you join the hub, now this social media service is one of the big deliverables that comes with the program. Naturally, Molly, if we were to then have hub packages that we're all selling into, we would create social media content that's easy for people to peel and stick to their own social media as well. So it's something that we're talking about. It would have some expense on our end, but that's the magic of what Danielle and Tom and I are doing, is that we create it, but everybody can use it. So there's one-to-many efficiencies, but we have hard costs against it. So we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place where I've got a team ready to write it. I got a team ready to produce it. I know how much they're going to cost. So now it's like, okay, how do we offset that revenue so we can provide the service? So the question is, if we created it, would you really use it? Like, does this sound like a real deliverable that you would want?
I would pay, an extra,
Mhm.
$10 a month on my membership, or, we would have to divide it out to see what it is, but I don't know how many members we have at this point and things like that, but
Yeah.
I would be willing, to add a little extra to that, to have access and make that happen.
And I think, Molly, to be clear, my vision at least, and Tom and Danielle, please jump in. You're building it with me. I just got my big mouth flapping here. My thought is it's Hub Social presented by Royal Caribbean. And then the next month, it's Hub Social presented by American Airlines. So we're rolling through corporate sponsors as part of their patronage of the Hub to make this service available to all of you. That kind of service. So that way you get the service. It's in partnership with one of the major suppliers that wants to be in front of you.
Mhm.
Cool.
Jennifer, you're staring in the camera but not saying anything. What do you think?
Oh, I was on last week, so I actually pulled up Branch App on my phone just a second ago so I could follow on what you guys are even talking about. 'cause
I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
should have recapped for you.
Okay.
Basically, social media service for travel agents to give you the raw materials you need with slight customization to go inside your social media feed, just to lower the impact of getting your social done, staying topical and staying in front of your clients
Yeah, it looks
For free.
for free.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how they make money, from the vendors that are coming in and advertising.
Yes. See, I got that from my Royal Caribbean rep, because Royal Caribbean and their subsidiaries have bought into Branch Up so that they can be part of that. So they're feeding Branch Up the information that goes onto our social media.
Yep.
So they're paying for it.
Product placement, right? You'll see Royal Caribbean stuff inside the thing. It's a brilliant program.
That's amazing.
Danielle, is this doable? Is this doable to find a corporate partner?
Yeah, yes, of course it's doable. I'm looking at it too now because my wheels are spinning as well. I think I love the idea of it to, I think it's very doable, and if we can manage the content successfully, at their fingertips in a usable format for a supplier to put it there for the agents to share. Yes, that is doable. And I think that the supplier partners, like you said, Royal Caribbean is dropping their content in there, and they are promoting to their agents to go to this place and get it. So instead of them sending it out and pushing it out individually to all of their partners, they're putting it in one spot. So it's certainly doable if we had some customization, I think, to house it properly. I don't think we're set up right now to house the content. Maybe some customization, we would need some customization to the app or to the program.
Yeah, I think what we would do technically is we would not host the content inside the Mighty Networks platform where the
Okay.
Hub lives. It would be a membership-based distribution site. So if you're a Hub member, then you can get at it easily.
Yeah.
Do you think we could partner with Branch Up somehow? And because they've already done all the work, that's why I was saying if there was a box we could check that would include.
How new is Branch Up? When was it created? Because if it's relatively new, maybe. If it's an established business, probably not.
Is it part of Facebook though? I mean, it's logging
No.
into Facebook.
No.
No?
It's utilizing the Facebook advertising. It's sponsored by tour operators, cruise lines, things like
Yep.
that. And so I'm just wondering if maybe there's someone at Branch Up that would be willing to allow us to be like a little tour operator or a consortium, some type of a checkbox there where, because I automatically get Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, destination, it automatically goes to my Facebook page. And so if there was some way we could tie in with Branch Up, they've already done all the legwork and all the hard work. We just want to tag in on it.
Danielle, is that something that you would reach out to?
I think we certainly can connect, but I think that we would probably, I love the idea and the concept, but we should look into a little bit more competitively how to do that properly. Yeah,
It would be nice to turn key, Molly. So I think that's a good point.
Yeah,
but to
I
what
love
Danielle's saying, the enterprise nature of what we're trying to build, it may make sense for us to have this as a service under the Hub flag rather than partnering the service through Branch Up. While that might be convenient and it might be the perfect idea, and it might be what we end up doing.
Yeah.
But I think where Danielle's going is moving forward for the Hub. I could see this being a core deliverable of what the Hub offers if we do it right.
Be awesome.
It's a great idea. I'm loving it.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the idea of it, and the turnkey availability of content to share is great. Has anyone used Branch Up? How have you used it, and what successes have you found using it?
Well, for me, I've been using it for probably about 3 months now. And for me, it's posting the content daily. There's at least 1 to 2 presentations on my Facebook page daily. So if I don't post for a day or two, there's still posts getting on my Facebook page that I don't have to worry about.
Okay.
So like Jennifer, I had a medical procedure a week ago and I was out for 4 days. And so I knew there was content that I approved, that I like, that I am utilizing my preferred suppliers, that's going onto my Facebook page that I'm not having to worry about.
So
I like the idea too, Millie.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Lisa,
Yeah.
Go ahead. Then we'll come to you, Jennifer. Go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I've been on it for 5 days, and I really like the content. It's beautiful. And I like the idea that I'm not saying at the end of the day, oh, shoot, I didn't post anything today. I know that something is going to be posted.
Yeah.
I like that I can look ahead and see what they're going to post each day. So if it's something I don't want to post, I don't have to, and I can put my own personal spin. I wouldn't use this as a be all and end all. It's a nice filler, I think. I think we have to be a little bit more personal with our social media. Otherwise we just become, like everybody else. So
Yeah.
I think it's really nice content as a filler.
Jennifer, what were you going to say?
That's what
And
I
it's
was
free.
That's what I think you just touched on exactly what I was about to say, Lisa. So, but to take it a bit further, so do you, in Branch Up, you select your likes, your dislikes, your cruises, Lynn, and then they just go in and post whatever they want on your page.
Yep.
But in taking it a bit further, can you say, I want you to post it on Monday, I want you to post it on Wednesday, but so like, if you want to make it more intimate and post certain things on certain days, you can. Because I see what you're saying, Lisa. If you're having them post every single day of the week, you're going to have the same post as everybody in the Hub.
Right.
If we all do Branch Up. Right?
Right.
Well, you should probably have a different supplier than other people. So like right now I've got Royal Caribbean on there and Celebrity, but I'm not posting the options of 5 or 6 other cruise lines because I don't want that content. And so you may be doing Asmara cruises, where I'm doing Royal Caribbean cruises. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think even if the Hub people are using it, I think by adapting it to what we like and what we sell, it won't be as generic. And one of those things where I'm posting in between. So like I did my 6 steps through the Cancun airport. I posted the Playa Resorts work and learn paradise. I posted. So I am posting in between or my own personal things on there also. So they're kind of like you were saying, there it's more of a filler. And if I don't post for a couple of days, I don't feel bad because I know there's fillers, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. You bring up a good point. When, you know, I might not check Royal Caribbean. Today I have something from Namibia, which is gorgeous picture. And they talk about Nakluft National Park in Namibia. And tomorrow is celebrity. Well, I might not want to, right now I'm not really advertising cruises as much, so I might take that down. And the next day is Morocco. I love selling Morocco, so I'll keep that up. So it probably would be a bit different, and we're not all in the same markets either. So
Right.
I don't think it would be really repetitive in that regard.
Well,
Could you
what-
guys, would
Go
you
ahead,
guys,
Danielle.
I have 2 questions. Could you each send me your links to your Facebook pages? I'd love to take a look at it, how
Yeah.
it looks when it automatically posts. And when you click on it, where does it go? Like if the post, if somebody, is it a clickable post? Like if somebody clicks on it, does it go somewhere?
So you can click on the information. So if you click on that post, it gives you a page that has, it depends on how you filled out your profile, but for me, it has my logo, it has my name, it has the phone number. So it goes to me.
It doesn't go back to.
No.
Royal Caribbean, no. It goes.
No.
It stays within. It's generic enough where it stays with you. It doesn't go to Royal Caribbean. It doesn't go to, Travel Impressions or whatever tour operator it is. It stays with you.
What tour operators are in there?
Do you have it up?
I'm
I just lost you guys.
Jennifer's logging in now.
Well, I'm trying to, I'm going through all these, what it's allowed to do.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think hearing you talk about it though, and knowing what we might be able to build, is it having great looking content you can post?
Yeah.
Or is it,
I like that.
or is it they're posting it for you?
Yeah. I don't really know if I want them.
Well,
Molly-
you can look at it and see if it's something that you want to post or not. But for me, it's the automatic posting because then I don't have to worry about it, and I know that I chose what's getting posted.
Yeah.
So I feel good with just allowing them to do it automatically. Now I can go in and remove that post at any time. If it pops up and I'm like, oh, I didn't want that, I can go in and remove that post.
So you don't get to accept it prior to it going on?
No, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can.
you
You can see what's coming.
Yeah, it
You
says,
can go in and look at it.
I don't know if you can see it, but you can schedule, reschedule, edit, post, and delete. But you have to, so if there's a company you don't want, you got to make sure you delete them.
I mean,
When you don't
this is
sell.
content creation in Hootsuite at scale is what's happening, right? And this is great. It's a great service and something that is not unique to travel, but a great service for travel. So it's a great opportunity. And at what level and what scope can we create something that services you? That's something we can investigate. But to hear the validation from a disparate number of agents all saying, yeah, we want something like this. Okay, Danielle and Tom, you need to be taking notes on this, right? we gotta pay attention to that. So, it's all up there. It's all in the steel trap.
Well,
I
and
get
for
you.
Danielle, I don't think she has to recreate the wheel,
Right.
And the challenge will be is there a partnership there or not? And if there's not a partnership there, then filling the need is an opportunity as well. And it's something that this is the whole path to prosperity concept, right? Like, hey, we could use something like this. How would we do it? Like this. Can we actually do that? Hey, we can. Problem solved. Like we're kind of, this is the 7th think tank that we've done. And we're just churning through these kinds of ideas. And we, as the hub, we're just refining what we're offering, trying to hit the sweet spot of value, price, partnership, and making sure that we're doing a good job. So this feedback, Molly, is super valuable. Thank you for that. And Susan and Lisa and Jennifer, of course, for giving us your thoughts. I want to hit on one more thing before we go. We've got an exciting thing coming up with Costa Rica, so Danielle's going to talk about that. But Tom, you didn't mention Business Insider, dude.
Oh, I didn't mention the thing. Yeah, well, I talked about it a little bit last week, but and I posted some of an announcement today. But we are super excited because we've been selected by Business Insider, which is a really big online media company based in New York. We've been selected as a part of their 2020 list of travel industry movers and shakers. I guess that's the best way to put it. You know, companies that are really changing the game and changing the paradigm when it comes to, you know, how to be effective, profitable, successful, and how to thrive in the travel industry. So pretty excited about that. Pat and I, we have some work to do till we get to the final product, because I'm really excited to see that, because they've really asked us for a lot of information about our ideas and our strategies, and having that out there in the marketplace, you know, driven by what they are publishing, will be huge for us as well. So we are pretty excited about that, and you know, just another step along the way, and getting validation like that is really important and really helpful.
Yeah.
Very cool. Danielle, tell us. Oh yeah, go ahead, Susan.
Well, I have a question. What about as we move forward, why don't we do a hub destination where we all go, we're in destination, and then other agents will see us in destination and be part of our group?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Tom and I talked, it is on the list. Tom and I have talked about
Right.
that, how to do some type of in-destination hub.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure the resorts are going to fight over you, Tom.
Yeah, they are.
Can I share one thing? Okay, so in my business world, one of the unique ideas that we came up with that my little network went bananas for, and maybe we could rip it off and use it here for the hub. I consult small businesses, right? So like we created a small business holiday party, because if you run a small business, you don't get a holiday party. Everybody else does, you don't. So I rented out a ballroom when we all went and had steak dinners together, and we sold it out. Everybody loved it. You know, we could have an agent holiday party in early December where we all just go sit in the sun for a couple of days, or a reunion of sorts where it's like the travel industry is officially open. Let's have an industry reunion, because as I understand it, all of the big in-person conventions didn't happen, right? They're all canceled.
Right.
So maybe we have like this Woodstock of travel agents where everyone's invited to come on, like descend upon one resort some weekend whenever.
That is great.
I think that would be awesome.
It'd be
Yeah.
fun.
And I think you'll see other agents that are kind of like, you've sent them invites to the hub and they're like, oh, I don't know. But I think once you get there, because you know, people are like, oh my God, so-and-so's in destination. How'd they get invited to go there? And
Right.
Well, we all love hanging out and being with each other. And Pat, you'll get to see a totally different side of our personalities.
Hey, same here, man. I'm not the guy in button-down shirts putting on a radio show every day. I'm ready to party. By the way, could I put out the name Hubstock? We're just going to have Hubstock. We're going to go someplace and like Hubstock 1, Hubstock 2, Hubstock 3. And we just need to find a resort that's willing to have, and just put the call out there and see who wants to come.
We make t-shirts.
Absolutely. Koozies actually is what we need if you're, you know, thinking about that.
No, I think that'd be awesome.
The little blow-up floaty ones.
Yes, for the pool. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, before we sign off.
Margaritaville sounds like a great place.
What was that, Molly?
The new Margaritaville. There's one in the There's one in Punta Cana.
Yep.
I got to see it under construction in Punta Cana. So, I mean, it's actually in Cap Cana, but yeah.
All right. We're on it. We're on it. Before we sign off, Danielle, tell us about the Costa Rica coffee, because we're really excited about what James is doing.
Yeah, so tomorrow, I know we've talked about this before, and James has been super active. Actually, I have a call with a couple hoteliers now that are going to join the hub. I think you're going to be really excited for this. It's a really fun product. And tomorrow James is hosting his first coffee talk, and he's looking forward to talking to all of you. So hope everyone can join. I really do think Costa Rica, once they open up, and they're just being so careful and they're being so precise, and they're really managing the way that they're opening. But I really think it's a destination that is so hot anyway, and I think once they open up and they're going to be hotter than ever. So he has some updates on that. He has a special guest, I believe. He's going to make a very unique coffee while he's giving the update tomorrow. So he looks forward to seeing you all. It's tomorrow at 1 Central.
And
So, yep.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Danielle. I thought you were done.
No, I am done. Yep.
Oh.
I just have I have someone waiting for me on another call. So I just.
Okay. Goodbye, Danielle. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Danielle.
Last thing I'm going to
tomorrow.
add before we sign off is tomorrow we have another exciting call. On Thursday, rather, the morning show at 11:30 Central. We're going to Hawaii. Robin Basso is going to be our guest to tell us all about what's going on in Hawaii on Thursday at 11:30 for the morning show. So if you're sitting there travel agenting and you want to be with your friends and talk over Hawaii, join us on Thursday at 11:30. All right. So fun call. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for thinking and engaging and helping us. This is the path to prosperity. Many thanks to you. And thank you for making the hub a special place. I'm Pat Miller for Tom Brousseau. For Danielle Whitmore, we say thanks and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.